Evening Bootkaters, how you doing? Don't worry if you haven't thought of a good Christmas gift for your loved ones this year. I've got you covered, alright? Full disclosure, I'm not being paid for this advertisement. I'm just trying to do you a favour, because it can be tough to decide on a Christmas gift for a loved one. I'm here to help you out. Because on X today, LBC have been advertising. Are you still on the hunt for Christmas present ideas? How about tickets to Full Disclosure Live with Mr. James O'Brien and Carol Vorderman? Get your tickets for the event from the link below. And there's a link to Full Disclosure, a live event where you can listen to two famous multimillionaires tell you in person that they're socialists and therefore they understand the plight of the poor. Brilliant, eh? Sounds like a banging Christmas to me. Two things though I want to point out. First of all, it's obviously not just Hollywood who uses professional digital artists to Photoshop all the imagery. Because the first thing I notice here is, James O'Baconface doesn't quite look himself. He's about 20 pounds lighter than he actually is. And in real life, his face has got a sort of crispy appearance, and it's the same colour as Carol's dress in that photo. So obviously, there's some shenanigans going on there. And secondly, Carol Vorderman has also had a good photoshopping, because in real life, she's got latex lips, rubber tits, and a balsa wood fanny. Alright, so false advertising, 100%. Shall we do some real news now? Okay, talking about the pretend socialists is actually relevant to what I'm talking about today, because you might think Sharia Kia has upset all of the conservatives, but it turns out he's actually upset anybody with half a brain. All of the old school left hate him because of his authoritarian nature and his duplicity. I was going to call him two-faced, but that doesn't do him justice. He's not two-faced. He's like Manny Faces from He-Man. He's got more faces than I've had hot dinners. The man is a viper. And I think probably the most hated Prime Minister in my lifetime. I didn't think we'd ever top Blair, but Starmer's managed him, so hats off to him. He's an overachiever. But today, even the loony left have turned against him. And I'm talking obviously about the Greens. From Caroline Lucas, what a shameful day. Starmer came to power pledging to restore trust in politics. This is destroying trust and wrecking lives. A massive injustice was done to waspy women. It's a political choice not to remedy it. Caroline's pissed as well. Unlucky. You were daft enough to support him in the first place though, weren't you? At least we, people that advocated for not voting for the Tories, we just did that because we're accelerationists. We knew Keir Starmer was going to be appalling. So it wasn't stupid, was it? We knew what was coming. But these idiots actually believed the endless stream of lies that was spewing out of the mouth of that tin pot tyrant every time he flicked his forked tongue across his lips. So unlucky, Caroline. Just know that your misery is a balm to my soul, you silly mare. And the news she's talking about is this: breaking. Sir Keir Starmer has defended the decision not to compensate women affected by changes to their retirement age, saying doing so would burden the taxpayer. Yeah, unlucky. You know what his new plan is? His new plan is, listen, we've got to pay for all the Marlies that are sneaking in via small boats. So women, unlucky, you've just got to nosh some old men off next to the wheelie bins behind your local KFC. Easy. It's practically free money, right? Because if you're a loony lefty woke thing, you obviously think that down with patriarchy, everything traditional's terrible and bad for your mental health, and you know, it's conservative to think that women like settling down and getting married and having children and having close families and loving husbands. No, so what you do is you do the exact opposite. Fire a coach ball through your tongue, dye your hair purple, and hum the national anthem with a sailor's balls in your mouth behind a fast food restaurant to pay for your retirement. And you'll be loving life. Now shut up, eat the crickets, and get in your box. We'll briefly touch on Sky News. I don't like to spend too much time on that website, but the announcement has been branded a day of shame for the Labour government, who've been accused of turning their backs on pension-aged women. And there they all are, look, a bunch of howling, man-hating birds, thinking that they're on the gravy train now that two-tier Kia's in Downing Street, as thick as dried whale spunk. Amusingly, Sharia Kia said that he's defending the decision because it'll burden the taxpayer to help out women that have worked their entire lives. He said he understands the concerns of the women against state pension inequality, but the demands are just not affordable. But you know what is affordable? You know what definitely is affordable? Tens of billions of pounds for foreign wars that have nothing to do with you. And also tens of billions of pounds for thieving, lying, floppy-cocked, fighting-age men with no documentation from the worst places on planet Earth. They empty the prisons and they stick them on boats and you pay for their 3 squares in the Hilton. Cheers then. It seems like an act of genuine hatred by Keir Starmer because we know he's a vengeful, malevolent psychopath. And he knows that lots of these old women voted Conservative because as you get older, you get more right-wing, don't you? So it's on purpose. It's definitely on purpose. And even if they didn't vote Conservative, the fact of the matter is, if you were born and raised in the UK and you worked your whole life and you paid your national insurance, you deserve a pension. You paid into the pot for 40 years. But the Labour Party don't like those women. Zara Sultana doesn't like white women that have paid taxes for 45 years. She likes pirate captains and Persian rug salesmen. Okay, so there's money for them and there's none for you because you were daft enough to pay into the system your entire life. So suck on it. Makes loads of sense to me. Pay into the system your whole life, get nothing, put absolutely nout in the pot, and you're on the taxpayers' tits the second you put one manky toenail onto the sands of a British beach. Happy days. It's all going wonderfully well, isn't it, in the UK? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'd rather be right than happy. That is how much of a chippy northern prick I am. I'd rather be right than happy. That does me. I'm loving this. Waspy women, unlucky. Unlucky. You're living under the iron shod boots of a tyrannical government. And remember, don't complain about those people coming over in the dinghies and pinching all your money and leeching from a system that you paid in your whole life. Don't get angry about them, because if you get angry about them and post mean things about them, you know what happens. You know what happens to old women in the UK. You do remember Julie Sweeney, don't you? Julie Sweeney, gaze upon the face of hatred. Remember, Chester Crown Court heard that Julie Sweeney, 53 years old, lived a quiet and sheltered life before sending nasty comments to her local community Facebook group in Kidsgrove in response to Axel Rudu Kanubu driving a dagger into the hearts of a few children. So he jailed her for 15 months and he said, people like you need to go to prison. Yep, people like you. Or old ladies, people like you. Not people like, I don't know, this fella. Remember him? I mean, yeah, he sexually assaulted an 11-year-old girl and was given no jail time at all. But of course he shouldn't go to prison. He's got a beard. So as usual, anarcho-tyranny in action. I just hope the old granny has learned her lesson for such a vile crime, okay? Keir's on a roll. He's doing exactly what it said on the tin. I'm loving life, me. Love being right. But that'll have to do you for the day. If you think Keir's doing a fantastic job and I'm mentally ill because I think big beardy weirdies should get locked up for violating 11-year-olds, you let me know in the comments. I like to be reflective and look in the mirror and be reminded when I'm saying stupid things like Charlie Chester, the child molester, shouldn't be wandering the streets willy-nilly. Okay, that'll have to do you for the day. If you have any comments on any of the stories I've touched on today, including James O'Brien's crispy face, please let me know in the comments what your opinions are, and I'll get back to you as long as you amuse me. Okay, thanks for tuning in. See you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.